guys, what's up? A little while ago, I reviewed the Ronin RS4 Pro. Now that is a $1,200 gimbal, just about, give or take what you spec it out to be. And I also had, as I noted in that video, I had the RS3 Pro, which I still have both of those right now. However, I got my hands on the all-new Insta360 Flow Pro. This is gonna be more of like a content creators gimbal, somebody who is a family, wants to go out and film some good, stable footage. And I've been watching a lot of reviews about it, hearing a lot of really good things, and I am super excited. This is a $150 gimbal. So that's what, 10% of what my gimbal costs? That is amazing. And so I'm really interested to check this out and to see what this thing is really capable of, and if you could throw an iPhone on this and if it would measure up to my RS3, RS4 Pro with an iPhone. So let's go ahead, let's get this thing out of the box, and we'll do a quick unboxing, just kind of show you what it comes with. Very interested here, just noted earlier, but it's portable. I mean, it's almost pocket size. It says it right here. Built-in tripod, built-in selfie stick. It's got a magnetic clamp. It comes with a grip, all USB-C cable. So yeah, it's got pretty much everything in here that I think you would need. And man, okay, I mean, you open this thing up, you've got some massive instructions here just on the box. Very interesting. Doesn't look like they have an instruction manual, but we'll get into that and see. This is the gimbal itself. I believe I'm gonna have to read the instructions on this. Like I said, first time ever messing around with this. It is a 360-degree panning gimbal, so that's kind of cool. I believe the Ronin does the same thing, but again, at a much higher price tag. So you've also got, nope, I don't want to break it. All right, so let me go ahead and look here. So it says unfold. So I grab the gimbal and it says, oh, there we go. Look at that. And that's without a phone. I just unfolded it and it powered right on. I can feel the motors turning in it. Let me go ahead and throw it back down. And there's that. I mean, that's really compact. That fits right in the palm of my hand. So for comparison, I'll grab my iPhone here. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, 15, doesn't really matter. But I mean, that's basically the size of your cell phone. Thicker, obviously, it's a gimbal. But I mean, that's about the size of a Pro Max. So if you have a Pro Max, that kind of gives you an idea. So let's go ahead, let's continue getting in the box here real quick and see what we have. It doesn't look like there is a whole lot in this box. So very interested to check this out. Let's get this here. So this is our phone clamp. This gives you the ability so this has a MagSafe thing, I believe. Oh no, you're right, you have to get the adapter if memory serves, which may also be in here. They have packed this thing really tight here. There we go, okay. No, this is the grip. So this comes with, again, this is the $150 version, but they give you the grip here that goes on a nice rubbery silicone type feel to it. It gets really grippy, very sticky, honestly. So nice, it's not gonna slip out of your hands. You get a nice carrying pouch here, carrying bag. Again, this is your extended mount. I don't know if that's gonna work on a Pro. Well, look at that, all right. So that is a 15 Pro Max or 14 Pro Max, I'm sorry, with a case, and that fits. So that is really, really nice. I'll go ahead and slap this on here real quick and see if I can get this. There we go. So there is a way that this goes on. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off real quick here. And there's the tape and the plastic. I'll stick this back in here. So it's got a little notch right here, and this has a little notch at the bottom of the mount, or the plate rather. So that should stick, and it's a little finicky, doesn't like it, but let's go ahead with a case. Let's flip this on here. So this goes this way, and it is upside down. Hilarious. You do get as I mentioned, a USB-A to USB-C cable. I wish they had included a USB-C to C, because that's kind of what everything should be now. You've got your instruction manual here, which a quick start guide. I will definitely be using this, warranty card, and safety guidelines. And that is about it. I thought this came with the the plate, but I think that is an extra. So I do not have the little MagSafe plate here that comes with it. So there is a plate that I've seen that basically it just attaches to the back of your iPhone or your Android, and it allows you to just slap that on. So you don't have to worry about this clamp. Now, this clamp is a lot better if you're going to be running. So, or doing anything like high action. They do not recommend doing this in like sprinting and stuff, I'm assuming is what they're talking about. They say don't use it for high action stuff, but if you're using it for a little bit more intense shots, you're going to want that grip on your phone, and this provides that. So that's really nice. And this is it's a pretty strong magnet. I mean, it's not, I've got to pull on it a little bit. I don't know how that will stack up if you were sprinting down the road, but yeah, pretty cool gimbal. Grab this quick start guide. Again, to note, this is a 14 Pro Max in a UAG case. So this is kind of your standard slimmer case. If you have a thicker case, I'll get my wife's phone here in a little bit and I'll check that out and see, because hers is a wallet case and she does not have the ability to use MagSafe. So this plate here, this you know, grip or mount, whatever, is not, or is the only thing she's going to be able to use with her phone, if it will work. I don't know. Her case is pretty wide in comparison to my case. So this says, place your phone facing up. Okay, so it does tell you, so this little notch right here at the top, that apparently is down, and when that is up at the top of, when it's like facing upwards, that's the up direction. So I'm going to test this real quick again, and I'm going to assume that this is what I messed up earlier, and put this on here, because it says that's up, and go ahead and turn this here. There we go, look at that, and it is, look at that, that is nice. I don't know, okay, so that levels, the front button does a lot of what like a regular Ronin does. It will level the gimbal out, or recenter it rather. We have pan, or we have tilt here. We can pan around. This is using the joystick right here, and I mean, that's impressive. That, I just threw that on there in what, 2 seconds? Okay, so this says to download the Insta360 app, which I already have on my iPhone. Another thing I realized I have not shown you yet is the tripod. So if we flip this out, and it's very interesting, it will balance without a phone on it, which is nice, but you just, right down under here, you have these little pull tabs here, and I thought, there we go, and pull this, there we are, and just like that, I mean, that's I wouldn't put a lot of weight on it, but I mean, they're expecting a cell phone. So, but that would sit there, you could pan it. It's got NFC pairing. So I believe if I take the app here, let's go to Insta360. We will turn this on, and I think that I should be able to pair. Yep, Flow Pro, it sees it right there, connecting. I've got the app ready, I'm registered already had my account, it just was confused. So it's going to ask you to allow camera permissions, because this has AI tracking, so that is really, really nice. It's going to use your phone's camera and then sync with the app and allow for a tracking. So that is really cool, kind of like the Raven Eye for, again, the Ronin, but this is all built in and it just uses your camera. That is really nice. It also asks for microphone permission. It does live streaming. Again, if you're doing a Zoom call or any kind of conferencing call, something like that, this would be something you could set on the desk. Pull the selfie stick out. Okay, so it's walking you through basically what to do. So you install the phone. It is telling me not to do it the way I just did it, which is have this, you know, balanced without the camera on there. Let me go ahead and push this in there real fast. So let's go ahead. Let's attach the phone clamp here. And I got to remember, yep, that is up. So remember that when you're attaching the phone clamp, this little divot here on this clamp needs to be towards the top of the phone. So if you remove that sticker, that's how you know, is that little divot goes towards the top. You take this, you're gonna, well, I say you're gonna take this and attach it on. There we are. So there it is, that's got that. Let's go ahead, rotate this here, and there we are. The phone is locked. Let's start here. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm, exit the tutorial. All right, cool. And there you go. I have, man, that is really nice. That's tracking pretty well. Okay, so press the trigger to start fast tracking. place the object you want to track in the center of the screen for better acquisition. All right, so let's say I want to track that. Oh, that is nice. I wish, here, let me see if you can see that. So all you do is just tap this. It's a lot like a drone if you've flown a DJI drone or anything like that, except you're not drawing the box. I'm assuming you can also draw the box on there. So it will just track and tracks pretty well. I mean, that is focused on the camera right there. Oh, cool. So right here, if you have there's a dial there and you can literally zoom. So it does your zoom for you. Now that kind of sucks in a way because it's going to use digital zoom in between, but if you're doing video, not that big of a deal. Let me go ahead and see if I can get, oh, there you go. All right, so to show you tracking here, so I can move this over here, move this over here. That is tracking really well. I'm hoping that the top down can pick this up here. Because I mean, I'm sliding this over pretty fast and it's not losing me. I actually just got out of frame there and it found me. Okay, good. So with the tracking of the like Raven Eye and stuff, it loses tracking really quickly and this does not. So that is very interesting. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see, record. Okay, you hit the record button, that starts your recording. Record button to stop, cool. Power button, one press seems to change pan follow. All right, so it says long press the, I'll call it the infinity button. Long press the switch button, that's what they're calling it, to preview the most recent files. Okay, so you long press here. All right, playback controls. All right, so you press the trigger button to switch between playing and pausing. Cool, you can do your shutter switch, switch key will view previous next. All right, so that's really cool. Oh, cool, so you can actually zoom in and out of your footage. Let's see here, play, there we go. So you can play and stop. So you can literally control everything on your phone and you don't have to touch it. It's all done by this joystick here. Oh, let's see here. What does this do? So double tap that, I think it said. There we go. Okay, so power goes back. But yeah, you can do a lot with this gimbal. I am impressed so far. Definitely going to take this out and do some actual testing. I'm going to do some running with it and show you what it looks like with that. But so far, I am very, very impressed with what this gimbal has to offer. So right there, you can switch it around. So if you tap this switch button here, the two little arrows going, left and right, right and left, depending on how you're looking at it. If you tap that, it will auto switch to selfie mode or switch to your front-facing camera. Very, very cool. I have not figured out yet. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I had read somewhere that it was a touch dial, and it is. Look at that. So if you want to get to FPV mode, so you want to create some FPV shots, doing that. That's getting a little, it didn't like that. That's interesting. So if you want to create some FPV shots, all you got to do is just take your finger and just like an iPod, you just roll your thumb over and that's going to go to follow, pan follow, and then auto. So it's going to decide what you want. I definitely would probably choose what I want, not let it choose. Let's go ahead, let's slide this out here real fast, get this tripod set up. Okay, it does say to install the grip. Let me go ahead and do that really fast. So take this, throw it back up. It is nice that it has this tripod. First impressions of the tripod is that it's definitely not the strongest. I would not trust that in a lot of use. You're going to use it. You're going to want to use it very sparingly, and or be very careful with it. It's definitely not it's not the best tripod. So and as I do that, I do it multiple times. Now, however, I'm going to turn this off here real fast just to show you. So if you flip it over, you do have a 1/4-inch mount at the bottom for a tripod. So theoretically, you could mount another tripod on this that was a better quality, and I may do that with the Ronin tripod because it comes with one. I have a couple other smaller tripods, and then that way you're not pulling this out and really exposing, I would say this gimbal's currently weak spot is this. This is really, really thin plastic here, and to me, it feels like it would break. I would not trust this over a repeated use to not just fall apart. So that's something just off the bat, right out the gate, I'm gonna say that it definitely, it's there, it's cool if you wanna use it every now and then, but definitely recommend using this 3/4 mount up here because it's gonna be better. Also, it's gonna give you a little bit longer of a stick here. This is a great grip, but it's going to give you that extra reach. Now I need to figure out how to get it out of portrait mode and into landscape. There is a way. I don't know what the button is, and I will, when up, as I said that, you double tap, just tap buttons. That's what you do. In tech, how you learn things, just hit buttons. It works inevitably. Or it works every time rather. Okay, so yeah, how you get it into portrait mode is you double tap this switch button, they call it, infinity switch, whatever you want to call it, or you double tap this, and that does that. There you go. And this phone is going to just keep turning on there. All right. So again, this phone is not NFC paired, but it does work with a thicker case with credit cards in it. So if that's what you have, you could do it. It's not that much thicker than this UAG case though. So definitely anything thicker than this, not going to work for you. Another thing to note, this can be used as a battery. I believe it has a 12-hour charge in it, and you can take a USB-C cable and you can plug it into your iPhone and it will charge your phone while you're recording. So you're going to lose some of your battery life in your gimbal. I definitely would recommend maybe not doing that. Make sure your phone's charged, but if you need the power, you've got it. So you kind of got a battery bank and a gimbal. Really cool. Another thing that's really cool about this, I'm going to throw it on real fast, just talking about battery, is when we turn this on, and I'm going to get my phone to turn on here. Let's do that. Confirm. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to turn this down. Hopefully the top down can see it. So up here in the left-hand side, I've got my gimbal battery and I've got my phone battery. So you can see my gimbal battery's just getting close to about 50%, maybe 60% battery, and my phone's at like 75%. So that's really cool. So if you were using that pass-through mode, I say pass-through, but the charging mode, you would be able to see what your phone gimbal or what your phone battery is, where it's at, and then also see how much you're losing in your gimbal and if you need to, unplug it or not. So that is something that's really useful. To note, you can do regular things in here, so you can shoot photos with it. I don't know why you would, but you can do it. Kind of cool. You can do, obviously, video, and you can do time lapse. Let's see here. It is suggested to deploy the tripod. Yeah, duh, tripod for that. Not tripod, tripod. You can do time shift, so that's cool. It auto throws it into landscape. Awesome. You can do slow motion. So again, it's using all of your stuff. It does dolly zoom. Oh, very interesting. It's got widescreen mode. That's really cool. Live view mode. Use tracking with third-party applications to live stream, video chat, and video conference. So remember I said you can use this for like Zoom or other conferencing. I'm assuming Discord would use it, stuff like that. Now I don't know that for sure, but it's got a hoop mode. I mean, this thing has so many. You can do a pano photo on this. Oh, nice. Okay. You can shoot in 4K 60. So, I mean, obviously the iPhone can shoot in that, but it's good that that is in the app. Let's see, anything else of interest here? Your wheel. You can use, okay, you can focus. So you can do, ooh, that is cool. So you could do rack focusing with this. This is really giving you some really, really advanced capabilities that you would get in like the Ronin's gimbal, but you have to buy the extra accessories to do some of this stuff. So it's neat that it's giving this to people, letting you kind of get your feet wet in the more pro settings in a way that everyone could probably use. This is very, very interesting. I mean, for 150 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong with this gimbal. That's just my first initial impression. We've walked through the menus. One other thing I have not shown you yet is supposedly that pulls Oh my goodness. Okay, a selfie stick does work, but it is not something I would recommend if you're, yeah, okay. So I can hold that out there. That gives you a decent reach. Pretty cool. I can switch this here. Let's go ahead and switch this around here. There we go. And now I'm filming myself. If you were a content creator, someone who's wanting to, film yourself, and you have your iPhone and that's all you've got, and you want to start a YouTube channel, this gimbal right here, I'm serious, really good. I don't know that it's gonna last forever. It's 150 bucks, but it definitely will do what you need, and it has a lot of really, really cool features. This definitely does not, my goodness gracious. That is not something that is easy to pull out. Maybe over time that would get, yeah, that is, at least mine is really, really stiff. Okay, so we're outside. We're gonna go ahead and take this gimbal. We're going to run with it. We're going to run with the phone, put the footage side by side so you can see kind of what it looks like with a balanced shot versus me sprinting with a phone just in my hand. And then we're gonna go ahead and try a couple of the different shooting modes, not a whole lot of them, but we do have a couple different ones that sound fun, like the 3D photo, so that should be really cool, and I wanna check that out. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Another thing to mention is that we do not have to use Insta360's app if we do not want to. We can actually use the iPhone app or any app really that supports the iPhone camera. So that is really cool about this gimbal and this whole setup right here. As noted earlier, I did put on an actual tripod because I do not trust this tripod under here. It's really, really flimsy, and I think honestly you would break it if you used it more than a couple times, just in the event that you needed it. So I do have an extra tripod down here just for that, but that's the only thing I've added to the gimbal at this point. So let's go ahead. I will sprint that way, do a running shot, I'll do some walking shots, and then mirror that with the iPhone as well, and just kind of show you the difference. So let's go ahead, let's hit record here, and I'm gonna sprint that way. And we're gonna sprint back. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop recording. Whew. All right, so I'm gonna pop this off here. Something that's really cool, popping off your phone puts the gimbal into kind of a sleep mode. So I'm gonna put this in my back pocket here real fast, and I'm gonna put this tripod down on the ground here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do a sprinting shot using the, again, Insta app, because you can record in it without the gimbal if you don't want to use it. So let's go ahead. I will hit record here, and here we go. And then we're gonna turn around. And there we go. I'm good to go. I mean, this gimbal is so easy to use. It's really, 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 really nice. I really love this gimbal. Let's see, I think I hit this up here. This is gonna go, we're gonna go ahead and do 360. It actually wants you to take this clamp here and turn it around until it's on the screen side of the phone, which is kind of counterintuitive, honestly. So let me go ahead and hit the photo button here, and let's see what this does. It's really nice that it actually noticed that the clamp was not in the right position. So it knew that I had it on the back of the phone and not on the screen side of the phone, so it could not take the photos that it wanted. Now I'm trying to remain really still. I'm kind of to the camera right here so that it can take the 360 photo. And I've never tried this. This is the first time, so I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. And you'll excuse my yard. It has been raining literally every single day here. For your information, for my information rather, if you add a tripod to this and you try to use this with that tripod, I don't know if it may just be this one. This is a small rig. It doesn't open really wide. I noticed that the tripod on that opens a lot wider. So if you have a like Insta360 or one of those flatter tripods that sets square on the ground, that might work. This does not. So this is the Insta360 Flow Pro taking a 360 photo with the iPhone 14 Pro Max attached to it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple walking shots here with the, and man, just to note, that is really, really rough to pull out. But have this actually aiming at me as I'm walking. So you can kind of, like, if you were to be vlogging or doing a recording like this, let me go ahead and turn this camera around here. So I'll go ahead and go over here, and this is with tracking on. So it is currently tracking me. And if I go over here, you will notice that, and I'm not moving my arm, I'm not touching the joystick. If I move over here, let's see, there we go. Sorry, I did not have tracking on. There we go. So if I move over here, tracking goes on. Move over here, tracking goes on. It stays on me no matter what I do. It's actually really, really nice. And I can just walk like this and sit here and talk to you. And I am using the rear-facing camera on my iPhone. And I mean, it's tracking me really well. Like if I'm just sitting over here and I want to create shots where I'm walking up to the camera and create maybe like a pan shot or something like that, I mean, that is really nice. And it's really good tracking. That is following me. Let's go ahead and let's do a quick test here. I'm going to run away from the camera or around the camera and see how fast it tracks me. So I'm going to set this on the ground. Actually, I'm going to stand this up here real fast. If I can figure out how to stand it back up. So I'm going to stand it up here, set it on the ground, and it is already tracking me. So I'm going to walk over here. The gimbal is tracking me on the ground. Now I will show this footage, and let's go ahead and let's run over here. There we go. It's got me over here. Let's run over here. Let's see if it'll get me at the camera. And it lost me. So, oh wait, look at that. That was sweet. So the camera lost me. I came back into the frame and it's like, oh, there he is. I got him. So yeah, that is really, really nice. It tracks really well. Let me go ahead and go over here. I'm gonna walk behind my trampoline and come back out and see what it does. So I'm gonna set this here down on the ground, and I bumped the tracking button, unfortunately. There we go, I got tracking back. So I'm over here, I'm walking, I'm backing away from the camera, and let me go behind the trampoline, and I would walk behind the trampoline, see if it loses me, and it should be searching for me, and it picks me right back up. I mean, look at that. That is cool. So I'm gonna hang out for about 5 seconds behind the trampoline just to see if I can really confuse it. So I'm gone, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's walk back out, and bam, look at that. That is really, really nice. My Ronin RS4 Pro would not have done that. It would have lost me and not reacquired the target. It just, like, or subject rather, sorry. It would not have reacquired the subject coming, like passing between things. It really, the Raven Eye loses tracking really, really fast. And even the newer one, which I like and is good. And I'm trying to distance test here just to see, but I mean, this thing has me, I'm a good, I don't know, probably 20 feet from this thing maybe, and it's still got me. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if it can track me this way. I'm gonna run around. All right, that is so cool. I would get the Flow Pro. This thing is so good. It's really, really blown me away for how useful it is. So let's hop back inside and I'll give you my final thoughts on this. All right, so we are back inside. I tested out the 360 mode on this. I tested out its AI tracking and its stabilization and a couple other things. And I gotta say, I really like this gimbal. For $150, you cannot go wrong with this thing. I mean, the tracking is insanely good. The ability of the gimbal to lose the subject and then reacquire the subject, and it like zooms out and then zooms back in, and it's like, hey, that's what I was tracking. Amazing. If you have an iPhone and you don't want to go out and buy a 360 camera to take 360 photos, this takes 18 photos that it stitches together to create a 360-degree photo, and it's really sharp. I was impressed with what this can do. Now, on that note, some of the things I don't like is this little tripod under here. It's good, it's okay, but it's definitely a little bit weak. So I really suggest getting a hold of something like this. This is Insta360's tripod for their 360 cameras. I picked it up like a year or 2 years ago, and it extends at the bottom here so you can make a wider base for better stability. But this, and I tested it with the 360 mode, just slap that on there, and it's got to be on a level surface, because if you'll notice, that tripod that's built in extends out and gives it a little bit more of a solid base, or wider base, I'll say. This is a small rig tripod, is a little too narrow. Also, I don't know if it's the ball head up here that may not have been perfectly level, but in my testing on that tripod for a 360-degree photo, it did not work. It wobbled, and then it would cancel out at about the last probably 4 images or so. And so if you're trying to take 360 photos, something like this, or you have to use the built-in tripod. Also, you want to make sure you're on a flat surface. I was on dirt and grass, so it was a little uneven. That could be part of the problem with this, but just keep that in mind if you're looking at this this gimbal rather. But yeah, all of these features are just amazing for 150 bucks. This is like a 1/10 of the price of my Ronin, and yeah, I'm shooting with my iPhone, but iPhone footage can be really good. So I highly recommend picking up this gimbal. If you're someone who does content creation, if you're someone who wants to film yourself, if you're on Zoom calls, you can use this thing. I mean, the applications for this are pretty much endless. And the fact that I can literally pop this off here like this and take this gimbal and fold it up. And yeah, okay, I need to take off the tripod here, but take that off and then I'm good to go. Like, this is my gimbal. It fits in my pocket. It fits in the bag. It fits in a backpack. It's a battery bank, so it can charge my iPhone if I need it to, or it has power pass-through to charge my iPhone while it's connected. So if your iPhone's low on battery, you can do that. All in all, this little gimbal is amazing. If you're a fan of Insta360, you'll like this gimbal. It works with their app if you already have a 360 camera. I would recommend maybe getting the MagSafe back, just for ease of use. If you have a MagSafe case or just want to shoot with your iPhone, like without a case, but don't do anything crazy like running with it. I don't have it to test, but I do understand that that's definitely not what they recommend if you're doing any kind of intense action. So yeah, definitely recommend this gimbal. It's amazing. It's 150 bucks. And yeah, I really like this. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, share it, and we will see you in the next video.